Alright, welcome to the podcast, y'all. So, first thing first, I'd like to congratulate two teams this week with the Falcons. I'd like to congratulate you for NFC Player of the Week with Devontae Freeman's 22 carries for 151 yards. What is your thoughts on his performance in Week 7's game?
Talking to me?
Yep.
Alright, so his performance, pretty solid. 22 carries, 151, averaging almost 7 yards a carry and a touch. His biggest factor came in late in the game when he scored that big touchdown at the end of the game off the pass. Biggest takeaway, he just was the offense for this team. He was the offense in this game. Packers came in with the mindset of not letting Matt Ryan and that explosive receiving corps beat them, and he was willing to give them the run, and he made them pay for it.
Okay. And on the AFC side, on Anthony McFarland's performance, BZ. He rushed for Anthony McFarland. He had 14 carries for 256 yards, averaging 18.3 yards per carry, and 3 rush TDs.
And he almost broke the rushing record.
Alright, fair enough. So Atlanta, this question's for you, Juwan. Bet on the year and your performance last year, of course, do you see yourself repeating as the coach for the Falcons?
I'm gonna just go ahead and say for the books, I don't see us self-repeating. Just for simple fact that the Packers game showed us, a weakness, a player weakness, and that Packers game was actually probably the hardest game this season. There's been a couple times we should have lost. Definitely the Panthers game we could have lost. Packers game we definitely could have lost. Even the Chargers game in the opening season could have lost. So I definitely won't say we could repeat. I could definitely guarantee a deep run in the playoffs. I mean, we still got a lot of football left. We still got the Cowboys who we got to go through. We still got the Raiders. We still got the Broncos. We still got the rest of our division. Coming out this bye week, we got the Panthers. With Cam Newton leading the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns. We still got, the Bisons, which they're still a very potent team. Just even last year, like when we got the one win against them, they came back and, forced Matt Ryan to throw 4 interceptions, and ever since then, we've just been on the tear. So I can see us making it deep into the playoffs, but I can't certify say that we're going to win it all.
Fair enough. Easy. After starting the year 1-6, tell us what changes do you need to be made for your team to compete once again? Okay, thank you. Before I start this next segment, I'd like to give a shout out to the coaches of Houston Seahawks. They left for basic training.
I won't say basic. I think they left for training, for deployment.
For training.
Yeah. And I know wholeheartedly how that is. Considering the fact myself, I got a deployment under my belt, so hats off to you guys. Stay focused in your training. back, get back in one piece, and let's get this thing back running when we get back.
Okay. So next segment is running back on decline. First up, unfortunately, you're going to be in the limelight once again, BZ. Your thoughts on Todd Gurley's performance from the beginning of the year to the present? Your thought?
My thoughts on Todd Gurley. This season has been rough for him. Only averaging 58 yards a game. Only got one fumble, 4 touchdowns, 79 touches. Your top backs are already over 100 touches already. One positive I do see so far right now is he is making guys miss 14 tackles, averaging 5 yards to carry. So when he does get the ball, he is, being productive. But like Coach said, man, it's a new offensive system. So how he fits into that run scheme, whether it's a power run scheme or even a zone run scheme, whichever one they figure out, if they just need the personnel to get it up front, because ultimately your running back can only do so much for whatever the offensive line can do. If your running back is a zone run type running back, but you have a power offensive line, that's not really going to match up pretty well versus vice versa. You got a power running back with a zone offensive line, it's just not going to work. But the great thing about Todd Gurley is he is a multiple scheme type running back, so he could be elusive out the backfield. He can also catch the ball, down on the check down. He can also do the power run up through the middle, or even do the stretch zone or the inside zone. So, like Coach said, just find that scheme for him, dial it up, and get the ball rolling.
Either one of you could answer this question right here. As under 106 attempts, Dion failed to show Tennessee Titans that he's a feature back. Argue your points on whether you believe he just doesn't fit the scheme, or he has fell off.
Dion Lewis definitely does not fit the scheme. This is not a scheme for him. This is definitely a power back scheme. Being able to run up the middle, tiring out the defense in the fourth quarter. That's not Dion Lewis. Dion Lewis is that typical, prototypical, receiving back. Yeah, he can do the inside zone, but he also will kill you in the screen and short pass game. That's where his bread and butter is actually made at, especially with him with the Patriots. That's what they use him as. So this is just not a scheme for him. He's only averaging 62 yards a game, only 3.5 yards a carry, got 3 touchdowns. So it's definitely a scheme thing.
Okay. And last on the declines, that's the performance of Jordan Howard. 61 attempts for 266 yards. TJ Yeldon backing him up for 32 attempts to 122 yards. Has the Bills rushing fell off since the loss of Sean McCoy?
I wouldn't say fell off. I think they just are pressed in the situation in the games they've been in. They've been quick to get away from the run. I mean, he has only 61 carries, but he's averaging 4 yards a carry. And once again, this has come back to a scheme thing or a coaching thing. Like if Jordan Howard, when he was with the Eagles and with the Bears, he was 1,000-yard back. So it's not that he's really on the decline. He's been in the league for 4 years, so he's still young. It's just the coaching. They get behind in these games and just don't stick with the run like they should.
Okay. So moving on to our next segment, running backs on the rise. First up on the list, your thoughts on Melvin Gordon's performance for the Chargers, and reason why you believe the Chargers may or may not gain the rushing title by the end of the year. I'll start with BZ.
Acting like they know me, cause I'm time to bring the bass bird.
As do I.
For me,
Go on.
I think Melvin Gordon. He's definitely going for that rushing title. And he's got a point to prove. Like he just got a re-sign deal. You know, got 5 years left on that contract, and he's trying to prove, you know, to that Chargers ownership that, you know, he is definitely worth the money. He's definitely worth, you know, investing in. And they need to stop being cheap and actually pay the man. They need to pay this guy, man. Like, that inside zone scheme has been helping out Phillips River a lot, and this might actually get Phillips River to his first actual ring. You know, Phillips been in the league for, you know, a long time, and it's yet to get a ring, let alone a couple playoff wins. You know, so this run game has definitely been their focal point in the attack. Even though they're great in the past, they're definitely been a run first team and then play off the run.
Walk the walk and talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a god.
Exactly what I was say.
Yeah, Zeke Elliott is right behind him. You know, 13 touchdowns. I think that's second in the league behind Devontae Freeman. Got 208 carries. That's the offense of Dallas right there. Like, that needs to be heart and soul. Like they're going to pound the ball. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to dare you to stop it because that's what they're going to do. They got the offensive line to do it. They got the running back to do it. And they also got a running back they can sub in with Ezekiel when he needs a breather to get the yards that they need to get and bring it back in there. And it's not that they could just run the ball. They can spread the ball out too. They got some weapons on the outside and at the tight end. So
My thoughts as well, that 13 touchdowns, relatively large number for a running back. That is largely that offensive run through Ezekiel Elliott. If he were to get hurt, I believe he will fall off. Moving on to the third on.
I'm about to say, Doug, you might want to fix your mic because you're getting choppy.
How's that?
Yeah.
So on to the third back, and you brought him up. So, Jawan, you missed this one out. Your thoughts on the rise of Devontae Freeman?
Devontae Freeman is definitely the workhorse of the offense. 148 carries, 990 yards, 12 touchdowns, 141 yards a game. Literally having breakout games against defenses. They're like there's literally defenses trying to scheme him, and he's just got his X factor ability too. So he's gonna be a tough guy to beat, and like just like with the Cowboys, you know, he needs a breather. You can easily bring in Ito Smith. You know, Ito Smith got 6 touchdowns himself, averaging 6 yards a carry. So it's not just Devontae Freeman need to worry about. It's Ito Smith. But what makes this one more dangerous is the actual weapons you have on the outside. You got a superstar in Calvin Ridley. You got a superstar in Julio Jones. You got one of the top tight ends in the league with Austin Hooper going along with, you know, an Asian Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan still get the ball out there, you know. I think Matt Ryan is actually leading the league in, like, I want to say QBR and the accuracy percentage too. So yeah, Devontae Freeman is definitely on the rise right now. At 28 years old, he got a solid 2 more years left in him before we see any decline in stats or anything like that.
And I agree. Your thoughts, BZ? Alright, moving on to your last featured back, Aaron Jones for Green Bay Packer. Thoughts on his performance will it get Aaron Rodgers a ring before he retires soon?
I personally think so. This gives something Aaron Rodgers has yet to have in a very, very long time since Ryan Grant in those days, or Eddie Lacy in those days, and it gives him an actual run game, an actual balance in the offense where he doesn't have to actually do it all, where he can literally just sit back, hand the ball off, and let this guy work.
Fair enough. So, I believe we've moved on to a little more news. Moving on to buy or sell. And the first question is for you, Jawan, actually. Is Dallas Cowboys the new team to beat after 8 weeks?
Yes. They really are. 8-0. Top offense, one of the top offense, one of the top defense. And let's not forget who that coach is. That coach is literally coming off a Super Bowl loss too. And he wants to get back to the big dance. He wants to get back and actually get that win. You know, we had inside report, you know, I've been able to have a chance to sit down and talk with him, and you know, he's liking what he's doing with the team. He's liking what the team is doing. He feels the team could make a deep playoff run. He even feels like they could even make it to the Super Bowl. You know, I asked him, like, what do you think if you happen to see, you know, Atlanta in a playoff run towards the Super Bowl? And he feels like he can actually beat them. He feels like he has the perfect scheme. He feels like he got the team and the guys to actually beat them. So I see him making it to the Super Bowl. I do see him making it, you know, all the way there. Only teams I really see standing this way is Packers, Falcons, and 49ers.
Okay. BZ, your thoughts? Buy or sell? Moving on to the next question. This is New York Jets. As of late, they're on a 3-game winning streak. Do you believe that there's anyone who could just hot the streak on their schedule, or do you believe they could win out? Buy or sell?
That one, let me check their schedule real quick. Jets, they are, currently on a 3-game win streak. They got the Patriots. I see 49ers knocking them off, and I see Chargers and Dolphins. I see Chargers, Dolphins, and 49ers knocking them off. But I do see them making it to the playoffs. I do see them making a little noise in the playoffs. They did beat but keep in mind, they did beat the Dolphins 40-9 early in the season. So, Dolphins, that's been their kryptonite really this season is the Jets. So, we need to really see what's going to happen. 49ers are actually, right now I think 4-1-1. So that'd be a nice little test for them to see what they're going to do. The closest team they came to knocking them off, actually, user-wise, has been the Raiders, and that was a 38-36 game. The Raiders came back off their, onside kick and just threw a pick at an inconvenient time. So that'd be something we'll have to see. But I feel like the 49ers, the Chargers, and the Dolphins should be able to knock them off.
And your thoughts, BZ?
And I actually want to correct myself. They did get blown out by the Dolphins, but usually they play the Dolphins pretty close. But we shall see when they play them again, and they head-to-head again.
That they are. Alright, another question. So after starting with a loss against the Atlanta Falcons, the Chargers have yet to lose a game. Do you foresee them losing a game at all this season? Buy or sell?
The Chargers, do I see them losing again this season? Let's look and see. They got Bisons, Broncos, Ravens, Panthers, Dolphins. Only team I really see knocking them off is Panthers and Dolphins. Raiders could give them a run for their money if they get some stuff together. Last time the Raiders played them, they was in that game until late, and then the Chargers just eventually pulled away. So if Raiders could actually just get some game plan going, fix some stuff up, capitalize on mistakes, not actually give mistakes and beat themselves, that could actually be a closer game, or might even be able to win that. Dolphins has just been a machine today. This year too. Panthers, they got the #1 pass offense, so it'd be nice to see if the Chargers can actually, hang with that. So.
Fair enough. Your thoughts, BZ?
On the job, you can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase double rings. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase double rings. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase double rings. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street. Case on the news. What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase double rings.
Fair enough. And final question for this segment. Anthony McFarland will win the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
You said who?
Dolphins' Anthony McFarland.
Yeah, I think he might win Rookie of the Year.
What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning.
That they have.
Trying to get my number
Yeah, I think he
retired.
might
Can't let
win
these frauds
Rookie
beat
of the
us.
Year, to be
I figured
honest.
out the recipe. Never let opponents get the
All right, for the final segment, it's week 9 through 11 picks for game of the week, I believe. So week 9, BD, Falcons versus Panthers. What's the winner and the score?
I'm sitting out on that one.
Fair enough. As these two teams are tough in the league, I see an offensive battle of 49-42. I'm going to actually hand it to the Falcons for this one. Moving on to the next question, since Juwan sat this one out. Week 10's Browns versus Ravens division battle. Juwan, since you sat out the last one, the first. Browns 4-3, Ravens 4-3. Who wins that battle to win division winner for that week?
This is going to be a nice division clash. The biggest thing is going to be turnovers. Both quarterbacks been turnover prone lately. Defenses has been lights out. So defense is going to show up and play. It's all about whose quarterback's going to make better decisions and going to be able to hold on the ball the best. And both teams got a good run game they can lean on. I wish I could wish they could lean more on that run game to help out their quarterbacks more in all pass offense. But I'm going to have to go Ravens on this one, 24-21.
21 sounds like a defensive classic. And your thought, BD, before I give mine?
Well,
So high score tie or low score tie?
I say we already got one tie in the league so far right now this year.
Fair enough. Me, I think it's going to be a defensive battle and definitely come out by a field goal. My prediction is 17 Ravens on the feet of Lamar Jackson. The last pick, 11, another showdown and another test. New York Jets versus San Francisco 49ers. Both teams has been a tear. Score prediction, Juwan?
49ers been on the tear lately. So as the Jets, I'm going to go with. Whew. I'm gonna call this an upset alert. I'm gonna say the Jets gonna take this one. I'm gonna say the
Okay.
Jets take this one. I think Jets is gonna pull something out their ass, and they're gonna win this one, 35-28.
35-28. BZ?
My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission, coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is in. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show, this so perennial. Do this for my millennials, I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Okay. $35-20. I'm gonna agree with you. 49ers is a strong and hotter team right now. Jets defense falls off a little bit. I'm gonna say it's a turnover differential for 49ers. Thus, I'm gonna say 35-10 Niners.
Ooh, blowout.
And the last segment I'm leaving up to Jawan. It's our college football segment.
All right, so here on college football segment, we have some things we're going to discuss a little bit. I'm going to give my take on it. And first thing first is the Georgia-South Carolina game. I called it last week, Georgia, that South Carolina is Georgia's kryptonite. And definitely did feel like that was going to happen. That loss put Georgia down in 10th in rankings. And that's what they deserve, I'm a Georgia fan, but still, I'm very unbiased when it comes down to this type of stuff, and that's what they definitely deserve. Florida had that tough loss against LSU, so that's gonna drop them in the ranking. LSU moving up to second over Clemson, I think, is a good move. LSU has definitely been proving that they're a team to beat. Alabama remains number one, with especially that explosive offense with Tua Tagovailoa and Derek Judy and Briggs, and yeah, that's just an offense galore out there. What do you think, Don?
I actually
What was your take
like
on this past weekend of college football?
this past weekend. I felt key ones I watched were the South Carolina game, in which they held their own against. Forgot who they were. Give me just a second. I forgot that one.
I know one thing though. There's gonna be some nice, pretty games this weekend. Starting on tomorrow. You got Louisiana Lafayette, Arkansas State, UCLA, and Stanford. Moving on to Friday, Ohio State and Northwestern, Pittsburgh and Syracuse. Now some top 25 matchups. We got Oregon and Washington. I think Oregon is going to win that one, actually. We also got Arizona State and Utah. I think Utah's going to pull that one off. Alabama against Tennessee. That's going to be a landslide. That's going to be a slaughterhouse right there. Now, you got Michigan and Penn State. That's a game you should watch out for. Can Michigan actually go into Penn State and win that one?
Anyway, as I was
7:30 kickoff, so that's a night game in Penn State.
So now that definitely a surprise game. I don't know if you can pull it up, to be honest.
I don't think Michigan's gonna be able to pull it off. Upset special. South Carolina's gonna come after Florida, and then they're playing in South Carolina, so we're gonna see about that. LSU's gonna stomp all over MS State. West Virginia is gonna get slaughtered by Oklahoma. Clemson is Louisville. That's gonna be cakewalk. Wisconsin, Illinois. That's gonna be a cakewalk. Purdue and Iowa. I honestly want to say that's going to be an upset special too. I think Purdue is actually going to beat Iowa.
And I believe Washington's gonna upset Oregon. Number 25, Washington is gonna upset Oregon by a field goal. It's gonna come down to a field goal.
So we're gonna do. So I guess we're gonna both go at separation on that one because I'm taking Oregon in that game.
Fair enough. And then Missouri's gonna kill Vanderbilt. And
yeah, Kelly Bryant and that Missouri offense. That offense is actually clicking now. So yeah, I think Missouri is gonna. They're gonna put up numbers on Vanderbilt. They're gonna definitely put up numbers on them.
One commissioner's battle I know of that's here is Auburn for Brian's Auburn versus Ian's Arkansas this week.
I'm gonna go on the books and say Auburn's gonna slaughter Arkansas.
As am I agree with you. We are full there. Looks like BZ left, so was there anything else you wanted to add, or are we ready to close the segment?
I think we're ready to close it.
Alright, sounds good. So, until next time, next Wednesday, hopefully we'll be a little bit more organized on my part. But other than that, till next week.